Hello, my book besties. It's Dano, and today we are going through all of my active series that I have. This is going to be a shameful video, but I'm doing it in the hopes that it will motivate me to work on it. So I did something similar to this at the end of last year, and I went through all of my series that I'm in the middle of, and we're going to touch base since it's mid-year, and I definitely know it has increased. So yeah, I haven't been great at this. But anyway, we ended last year with 65 that I was in the middle of. That included ones that I was up to date. And yeah, we're going to go through my Notion spreadsheet and have a look at all the ones that I now have, because it hasn't gotten any better. So let's go through it. Let's name and shame me, essentially. But I then have plans to work on this. So, okay, starting off at the top, I have these in order of series name, and then I've got how many books are in the series that have either been announced or if it's completed or that I know of. So some, obviously there's more coming, it's just we don't know that information yet. So this is as much information as I could get on the series. But first off, I have A Fairy Godmother by Danielle Page. This is the Wish of the Wicked, I think it is. It's a sort of a Cinderella retelling, but in the perspective of creating the fairy godmothers. It wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. And it is only a duology, so I only have one more book to read, and then I've completed it. Then I have A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. This, I have completed the first book, and then I can't remember if there's a prequel novella and then the last one, but either way, like, it's not that much to read, so I've got 2 more to read from that one. Then Alex Stern series by Leigh Bardugo. This one has the 3rd book coming out on September the 15th, so I'm currently up to date, but there is another one to come. And I do believe that's going to be it. I think she's stopping at a trilogy for this one, but it was originally a duology and she's added more to it, so who knows. Then we've got An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I have read book 1 in The Ember in the Ashes. I can't remember how many I got through like 10 years ago when they came out. I can't remember if I read all 4 of them or not. I don't think I did. So I got 3 more to go. It is a completed series. Just need to get through it. Then I have Anna series, which is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. This is a duology, so I have 1 more to go. Then we've got Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I reread this one recently because I never continued on with the series. They're a trilogy of interconnected standalones, I believe. So I got 2 more to go for that. Then Assistant to the Villain series. I have read the first book in that series by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and there is another one coming out on August 4th. So I would like to catch up. I do have book number 2 out from the library, so I am planning on working on this one soon, but I've only read 1 so far. Then I read Beartown. Well, not then I read, but I also have Beartown by Frederick Backman. I've read book 1, the main Beartown book. This book absolutely killed me. So the idea of going back into this world, although I haven't had it heard as many people continuing on with this series, I didn't even realize it was a series because it does actually wrap up, but I believe it continues talking about the town and different characters within the town is what I believe. So there's 2 more in that series to read. I've read the first 3 books of the Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikatsu Kawaguchi, and I honestly don't know if I want to continue reading this series. I am so bored by them. I don't really have that much interest in it, but they're quick and easy reads. So if I need a translator work for a challenge, that's probably when I'd pick these up, but I'm not racing to get back to the series. Then I have the Bloodwing Academy series. This was, I think, the first book I read this year, and I still haven't gone back to read the other ones. And the next one is coming out in October this year, so I have some catching up to do. But I really enjoyed the first book, so I definitely want to get back into it. Then we've got Cambic Creek by C.M. Nascosa. This was an interesting read. It is a monster smart book, essentially, and I have fun reading it. It's just not something I gravitate to day to day, but I will get back to it. I've read the first one. There is 5. Then I've only read the first book in the Cat and Mouse duology by H.D. Carlton. I plan on reading the other one just to finish it off. I feel like I'm going to have to do a video series where I just finish off all these duologies, or like where I have one book left on the series to read, because I think there's a few that fall into this category. Oh, I don't know why this is here. The Charlotte Holmes series. I finished this. Completed. There we go. Okay, up next we've got the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, and I've read one. I don't know why it's not showing up on here as read. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I've definitely read the first one in this series, so I'll fix that later. Then I read the first book in the Chicago Ruthless series by Sadie Kincaid. I'm pretty sure it's called Dante. I'm pretty sure that's what book number 1's called, and it was fine. It was for a book club read, so I think that's the other thing. I am going to blame my book club on starting a lot of series, because we've picked book 1 in a lot of series, and I just haven't gotten around to continuing on with those series. So book club's definitely getting a lot of blame for this. Crowns and Nyaxia by Carissa Broadbent. I have read 2 of the main books, 1 of the novellas, and I've started another novella. So the next book that I'm up to is the Songbird and the Heart of Stone. It's sitting on my TBR cart, ready to go. So looking forward to that one. And the next book does come out next month in August. The Earthbreakers series, I've only read the first book, which was A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I want to go back. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so it was fun. Cursed Covenant series by Elise Hunter. I've read the first book in this series, but there is only 1 out so far, and there's no date that I can see for the next book in the series. It's just released the title, and I can't even remember what the title name was for it. Let's see. Soul Torn. So when I know when that's coming out, I assume it will be next year, since Bloodbound came out this year. I'll be able to change that, but I am up to date with it at the moment. The Dark Olympus series, I have only read Neon Gods, which is the first book in the series by Katie Robert, so I've got some work to do, considering there's 11 books in that series. Also, my counts do include the novellas, just in case you're wondering. Dash and Lily by Rachel Cohen and David Leviathan. I've read the first 2 books. They did come out with a 3rd book, and I've just never gone back to reading that. These are such an easy Christmas read that I kind of just want to wait till Christmas time and smash them all out again. So I'll probably end up doing that, and then finishing it off that way. Dearly Beloved by Bridget Knightley. This is a duology that the 2nd book has just come out, so I've only recently become not up to date with this series. The first book was just okay for me, so again, I'm not rushing back to this series, but I would like to just read it to finish the duology. If you can't tell, I have completionist mindset. Okay, another one that I'm not sure why it's coming up with 0%. Devil's Night by Penelope Douglas. The first book in this was Corrupt, and I read this for book club and have not gone back to it. It was fine. Yeah, that's all I got. Sorry. The Divided Fates series by Book Fast. I have recently read book 1 in the series, so I'm currently up to date. The next book comes out February 9th of next year. Yes, To Unleash a Darker Fate is what book number 2 is called. And I'm so looking forward to that one. Dragon Curse by Elise Kova. This is apparently a series, but I can't find any information on the series. I did find a date of April 6, 2027, but I'm pretty sure that was using AI, so I don't actually know if that's been released anywhere. Obviously, it must be if it's in Google AI somewhere, but yeah, I just can't find any information on book number 2 yet. The Dream Harbour series, I absolutely love this series by Laurie Gilmore, and I am almost up to date. I think I only have the novella to go, but they have announced, sorry, I've only got the novella to make me up to date, but they've announced that there's going to be 2 more books in the series. So very excited to keep going with this series because I do absolutely love it. I am also very close to being up to date, which is nice. Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinnerman. I am a little way off being up to date with this one because book 8 just got released. So I've got some work to do, but I absolutely love Dungeon Crawler Carl and need to keep working on this series. The Emily Wild series by Heather Fawcett. I was complete with this series, but then she announced that she's doing a book 4. So well, actually I should change that to up to date because I am technically up to date with it until January. So I've read 1 to 3 and just waiting on 4 to come out. Empire of Blood. Again, why have I not marked these as up to date? So I am up to date on this one until January because I have read We Who Will Die, and the next book, We Who Will Rise, is coming out in January. So at the moment, I'm up to date with it. Fae and Alchemy series by Kelly Hart. Why is this? I'm gonna have to go double check what books I've marked as finished because clearly I haven't marked Brimstone as finished because I am up to date with this until September of next year. Don't know. Have to see what's going on. It may just be that I still have them as currently reading in my books spreadsheet and they don't come over here as read until I mark them as finished. So that just might be the reason why some of these are out. But I thought I had updated. I clearly didn't. I must have been imagining the fact that I'd update both. Then we got Fallen City by Adrienne Young. The main reason why I picked this, or I've read this one, is because I got the NetGalley audio arc for it. So I am currently up to date until December, which is when the second one, I believe this is only a duology. So I will probably listen to that just to finish it off. Fire and Metal by Rachel Snyder. I have read Metal Slinger and Light Wielder is currently out. I don't actually know how many are meant to be in this series, if it's a duology or a trilogy, but we'll see. The Gallagher Girls series by Ali Carter. I finished book number 4, so I've got 2 more to go. Again, I clearly haven't marked it off. Maybe I just haven't done. Actually, that would be it. I don't think I've actually gone through and marked off any of my June, July reads. So helpful. I just put them in to make sure that I had all the series, but I don't think I actually marked them off and put in their completion dates. I think that's the issue. Okay, I got homework after this video. Gemma Doyle series by Libba Bray. I have read book number 1, and there's 3 in this series, but it is a completed trilogy, so looking forward to finishing that. Ghosted by B.K. Borison. I have read Good Spirits, which is book number 1, and the second book is coming out in September, so I'm currently up to date. Girls of Paper on Fire by Natasha Nang. I have read book number 1. This is a trilogy. I'm just not sure if I want to read the rest of it. I had a very hateful reading session of book number 1 because I really didn't like what was going on in the book. But the rest of the series does move away from that, so I'm debating just reading them or listening to them to complete it. But yeah, book number 1 for me was very problematic. Gods and Monsters by Amber V. Nicole. I've read book number 1 in this series, so that was the Book of Azrael, and just haven't continued on. They are some chunky books though. Hades and Persephone Saga by Scarlett St. Clair. Now, I will preface this one of I have included both the Persephone and the Hades views in this count together rather than having 2 separate series. I've only read book 1. I keep meaning to go back and read it, but the idea of reading the exact same story but from another person's perspective kind of just, it puts me off. I wish they were combined into the one book and then you just saw what was happening from the other person's perspective, like through dual point of view book rather than having two books. The Harker Academy by Kate Golden. I've recently read book 1, so I'm currently up to date. The next one comes out in September, and this is apparently going to be a trilogy, sorry. So yeah, now I've just got to wait. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, volume number 6 recently came out. It was the last volume to come out. There is also 2 side graphic novels with it, and I think I've read 2 of them so far. I think I've read volume 1 and volume 2. Can't remember. Hex Hole by Rachel Hawkins. I've read book 1 in this series, so need to keep going. House of Devils by Kayla Edwards. I have actually read book number 1 in this series. I don't know if there's still more to come. There might be. Oh, yes, it is. There's currently 4 out, and there's 2 more planned, but there's no information on when they're coming out. And because the other books, like, we have got no information on it, I don't know if I'm really rushing to read the first 4, because then I'm going to have to wait who knows how long to get to them. But these are really, really chunky books, so maybe I should just slowly tackle through them. Then I've got the If Love series by Anna Huang. I've read book number 1 on this series, so need to keep going. I believe these are interconnected standalones. Another one that's not pulling up correctly is Into Darkness series. I don't know why that's not pulling up correctly, because I've read Lights Out and Caught Up. So I've got 1 more to go. I'm annoyed at myself for filming this without my spreadsheet being up to date. But trust me when I say that I am actually 2/3 of the way through this series. But we'll get there. Kingdom of Lies by Stacey Stark. I've read book number 1. I read it recently, so I do want to keep going with this series. I just gotta jump back in. This series, La Passe Mirror? I don't know. I'm so sorry. It's a fantasy series that's translated from French by Christelle Dabos. Highly recommend it. I really enjoyed book number 1, and I just haven't gone back to book number 2. But again, if you need a translated work, I highly recommend this series because, yeah, I really liked it. Then we got Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. There is a whole bunch of novellas in this that I haven't read, and I don't think I've read the last book in the actual series as well. So I have only read the first one and the prequel book. So, need to catch up. Then Light Lark by Alex Astor. I believe I only have 1 more to go with this. Maybe 2? Where do I have to go? I've got 2. I've got Crown Tide and Grim and Oro. So, 2 more to go. And then that will be done. Miss Peregrine's at Home for Peculiar Children series. I've read the first 2 books in this series, and I think there's 7 and 2 novellas, or like 2 tie-ins. So Moonfall series by Sarah A. Parker. I have read the first book, and I have the second book here ready to go. So I'm going to get to it very soon. Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carriger. I've read the first book in this series. I really enjoyed it. However, I'm reading the Finishing School series first. Why isn't that on here? So I apparently missed marking this one off as started. I have started the Finishing School series by Gail Carriger as well. It's just I hadn't marked it off as started, so it wasn't showing in this list. But I am 2 books into that series. So I want to finish that series before I come back to the Parasol Protectorate series, because apparently that is the order that you're meant to read them in. The Percy Jackson series. I've only read the first book in this series, so I do want to keep going with that. Ravenminder series. So this one's a weird one of if it is a series or not, but there's now 2 spin-off books from the prince's point of views. So I'm counting it as being a series because it's connected. So I've read Ravenminder recently, and the other 2, I don't think they've been released, or maybe they've just been released. The Reign of Remnants. I have read The Wind Weaver, and I have the Sea Spinner, I think it's called, out from the library at the moment, so I want to get to that really soon. And then the third book comes out in February of next year. The Rome, Kentucky series by Sarah Adams. I have read one book in this series, and there's 4. The Rose Hill series by Elise Silver. I've read the first by Elsie Silver. I've read the first book in this series and need to get back to it. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I have read the first book in this series. The second book just recently came out, and the third book's coming out in April of next year. So if I read the second book, then I will be up to date until April. So we shall see. The Scared Sexy series by, this is an Amazon short story series. I've read 3 out of 6 of those, so I just want to go back and finish off the other 3. They're mostly 70 pages each, so it won't take me long to finish it. It's just I haven't, because I am starting to realize that I'm really not a short story person. So the Amazon series never really work well for me. It gives me something easy to read during readathons that are based on how many books you read, especially the 24-hour sort of weekend things that they do. It helps me for those. That's why I read them. The Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This is a duology, so I've read book number 1. Just need to read book number 2. Secret Shanghai series by Chloe Gong. I've read book number 1 in this. Book number 1's These Violent Delights, and I just haven't read anything else. This was an okay book for me, so it's not at the top of my priorities to race back to. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharin. This is a trilogy. Book number 1 was massive, so I think it's just scaring me off going back and reading the other 2 in this series. But it is quite a bit older series, so it's complete. Just need to get there. The Shades of Magic series. I've been rereading these lately, and I have, I was questioning what I'd read. I've got the last one in this trilogy to go, and then that moves into the new series that the book number 1 is out, but book number 2 we don't have any information on. Shadow and Bone trilogy. I've read book number 1. This is by Leigh Bardugo. The Shadow Breed series by Grace McGinty. I read book number 1 this month, or late last month, so quite recently, and this is a 4-book series. Shooter Sparrows, I'm actually up to date. Just haven't fixed that. I read The Rights of the Starling quite recently, and the 3rd book comes out in March next year, so currently I am up to date. The Silver Elite series, again, this I haven't updated my reading for the last month on here apparently, because I'm now up to date. I read Broken Dove, and we're just waiting on the 3rd book to get announced. I don't think it's been announced yet. Spy X Family, I've read volume number 1 in this series, and there's a lot of them. There's 17 volumes. So this one I think I'm going to leave for, again, readathons that I just need extra books, because obviously being a graphic novel, they're quite easy to get through. Stormbreaker, I read book number 1 recently. Book number 2 is not out yet, so it comes out in September, and I believe this is just going to be a duology. So we'll see how we go. Arcana Academy, I have only recently become not up to date with this, because The Prince of Swords has now come out, and I need to get my hands on it so that I can read it. The Artisan trilogy by Stacey McEwen. I've read book number 1 in this, and book number 2 is now out, and then book number 3 comes out on the 1st of July next year, I believe. So looking forward to that. The Atlas series by Olivia Blake. This one I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on with. I really didn't like book number 1, and I haven't had the greatest reviews for the rest of the series. So it's one of those that I told myself that if I didn't pick up book number 2 this year, I have to be okay with saying goodbye to this series and not reading it, because I don't have any interest in it. But I am also such a completionist that it hurts my soul to not complete a series, even though it will spend years as being unread. So I either need to get over myself and just not read it because I didn't enjoy it that much, or just smash out the other 3 and mark it off and done and then forget about it in my life. The Baby Dragon series by A.T. Qureshi, I have read books 1 and 2. Book number 3 is currently out, and then book number 4 comes out next year. The Bonsai Tie series by J. Bree, I've only read the first book in the series, and I believe this is now completed. So, yes. Also, if you know of any information regarding any of the books I've listed on here, like the dates of the next book, or if there's more to come, or if they are completed and I don't have them marked as completed, please let me know. Because it does take a lot of work trying to find all this information, and I don't always go back in and double check everything. The Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen. I have read book number 1. I really enjoyed book number 1, so I just need to get my butt in gear and keep reading. The Cocky Kingsman by Amy Ward. I believe the next book in this just recently came out or is about to come out, and then I think it's the last one in the series, or at least the last one announced, comes out in April of next year. There's a whole bunch of novellas that I haven't read yet either, and they've all been like, they're ones where you sign up to the newsletter and you get them, so I want to read them because I have really enjoyed this series, so I want to read all the new novellas that go with it. The Crucible by Abigail Owen. I have read book number 1 in this series. Book number 2 is out, and book number 3 is coming out in November, so I really want to catch up on this series so that when November hits, I can just read the 3rd book in it, and I believe that's going to be it. So if that's the case, then I will have completed the trilogy. The Eating Woods series, I've read Anathema, and book number 2 is out, and there's now going to be a book number 3 coming out in October this year, so again, it'd be nice to read the next book so that in October I can read the 3rd one and then be done. The Empyrean series, I'm currently up to date. There is a book called The Threshing Day, coming out in September of this year, and then book number 4 is coming out next year. So looking forward to another book in this world. But so far, I'm up to date. The Folk of the Air series by Holly Black, the first book being The Cruel Prince. I have read book number 1. I need to get back to this world and finish it off. The Heart Duology, I am currently up to date in this because I've read Daggermouth, and the next book doesn't come out until March next year. So that's exciting. The Kindred's Curse by Penn Cole. I've read book 1 in this series. I have been meaning to read book 2 all this month and just haven't gotten to it yet. No, I have got. I'll go double check. I have read either 1 or 2, so I'm at least probably about halfway. Oh, okay. The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I've read The Kiss Quotient. There is another 2 in this series that I haven't read, so want to get there. The Legends of Thesma series. This is a high priority for me to read and finish because I absolutely love book 1 and book 2. So I am just waiting on my library holds to come in for book 3 and book 4 so that I can smash them out. The Mortal Instrument series. I have just started rereading this series because I've only previously read books 1 to 3. So I have reread book number 1. And going through them all now to keep going with them, which is exciting. The Nevernight Chronicle by Jay Kristoff. I've read book number 1, Nevernight, and I enjoyed it. Jay Kristoff has a very dark, warped Australian sense of humor, and I love it, but it's definitely not for everyone. So just check the triggers going into his books. But I really enjoyed it, so I want to get back to it. The Nightshade Crown by Hannah Witten. I have read book number 1, The Foxglove King, and the 3rd book has just come out, I think. So it's all out, or it's been out for a while. I don't know. The Plated Prisoner by Raven Kennedy. There's 6 books. I've read the first one. I need to get through the series. The Powerless Trilogy by Lauren Roberts. I just have the last novella to go, so I really need to get onto that so that I can complete the entire series. The Queen of the Tealing by Erica Johansson. I found out that there is actually a prequel novella, so that's why I don't have it on here as completed. I want to go back and read that because it sounds really interesting, so I've marked it as still an ongoing series so that I remember. The Reform series by Ariel Sullivan, I have read Conformed and Beneath is out, so I need to read that. And then the next book in the series comes out in February of next year. The Ruinous Love trilogy that also has a novella in it. I've read book 1. The Scholomance series by Naomi Novik. This is another one that I don't know if I'm going to continue on with because I did not enjoy the first one. But there's only 2 others and they're quite short and they're YA, so it won't take me long to read it, but it's just whether or not I actually care. I'll see. The Seasons of Carnage trilogy by Bryn Weaver. I've read book number 1. Harvest Season, book 2 just recently came out, and the 3rd book, I can't remember what it's called, is coming out next year. The Shadow Game by Amanda Foody. I've read book number 1 in this series and just haven't gone to it, but I did really enjoy book number 1, so I really do want to get back into that world and finish it off. The Spell Shop series by Sarah Beth Durst. Book 3 just came out in this. I'm like, why am I not up to date with this? Book 3 has just come out, and so I want to read that, and then book 4 is coming out in January of next year. The Stonewater Kingdom by Rachel Gillig. Well, I'm technically up to date because book 2 doesn't come out until September. So at the moment, I'm up to date. This is making me feel better-ish. The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee. I've read 2 out of 3 of this trilogy, so I just need to read 1 more to finish it off. The War of Lost Hearts by Carissa Broadbent. I've read book number 1. I do have book number 2 here ready to go. Just, it's on my list of things to get to. The Wolf King by Lauren Powell Freeman. I have started The Wolf King. I need to finish it. But I don't actually know if that's going to be this month now. So I think it'll be on my TBR for next month. The Wolves of Ruin by Sable Sorensen. I just finished Fury Bound, so I'm currently up to date. And then the next book was coming out sometime next year. So looking forward to that. I believe it's going to be just a trilogy. So we'll see. This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Murphy. I believe she's coming back and writing more in this series now. I've only read the first book in this series. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see, like, how that jump in timeline, like, if you notice it or not. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I don't know if there's more to come in this series, or there must be in September. But I don't know if there's any more after that or if this is the final conclusion to it. But I've read book number 1. Unearthly Delights by S.T. Gibson. I'm currently up to date with this series because I read Savage Blooms and the next one doesn't come out until February next year. The Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Crow. I have read book number 1 and there is another one coming out in August. And I think that that is going to be the last one in the series. The Villains of Law by Jasmine Mars. There is another one coming out next year, but I've only read book number 1 in this. So I need to read book 2. Vows and Vengeance by Alexis Almenard. I've read book number 2. This is going to be duology, so I just need to read the second book. Wicked Games by Kaylee Smith. I have read book 1, and the next one's coming out in January next year. Yeah, just trying to work out what they were. The Windy City. I have read the first 2 books in this series, and I believe it is completed. And then the Zodiac Academy. I've read 1 to 3 in this series because it's just the Zodiac Academy. And then I'm now on to the Ruthless Boys series. So that is where I'm at with all my series. So I have 108 active. This includes ones that I'm up to date with, but 108. That means I have added 43 series since last year. We're only halfway through the year. I cannot add another 43 series in the second half of this year. So my plan is to do some reading vlogs where I just focus on tackling my series, or just doing a video series all about tackling my series, because I want to get this number. Ideally, I would like to be under 30. And if it's over because they're all up to date, then that's okay. But 30 series that are able to be finished would be my max. And even then, that feels like a lot. But 108 is ridiculous. I don't know. It wouldn't be that many less 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So of the 108, 17 are up to date, but a lot of them it's like only a couple of months away until they're not up to date anymore. So I've got a lot of work to do, but I needed this to tell myself off. And then I'm asking for you guys to hold me accountable. So coming soon will be the first episode in a tackling my series. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on my series. All right, that is it for this video. Let me know if you know how many series that you have open at the moment. And if you have read some of these series and you're super keen for me to bump them up in my priority list to get to and complete, if you just want to let me know that you're here but don't really want to make a comment, add a purple heart down into the chats. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.